So, I think this is part 4 of the Foamie build. I'm going to call this episode the debacle. The whole roof's got to come off. G'day folks, Andy here from McDowell Manor. Yeah, you can see the shiny water on the ground there. The roof has continued to leak. I've cut the bloody skylight back out. I've gotten rid of most electrical stuff out of here. So you can see around the front there, I've actually started cutting it off. I'm going to take the whole roof off. And what I've managed to get my hands on is the proper XPS foam, which I should have been using all along. So you can see how thin this one is. This is really an EPS. And this one's much thicker. I could easily get it in 30mm. You can get it in 40 and even bigger, but I didn't see the need. And certainly the texture's a lot better. I suspect it's going to work a hell of a lot better. I'll take that entire roof off and I'll replace it with this stuff. And you can see there's enough over in that corner of that room for me to do the roof, the entire roof, and I think I'm going to redo this back door. Oh good, you can see from there. See the sag in the top of it? Where the cupboard's pulled it down? I don't want that door sagging, obviously, it's a pain. So what I'm going to do is rip that back door off and I'll redo it at the same time. This stuff should be a lot more sturdy. And I might even put a bit of board on it just to stop it from moving. Now the problem I had was the roof, you remember, sagged. That's what that stick's holding up there. It sagged when I put it up, and that's because I hadn't put any cross members in to support the weight of the foam. I didn't think it'd matter, and it did. So to correct that fall, I ended up with multiple layers in several parts on the roof. It's all coming off. We'll get the fall right. I've got a couple of sticks which are over there near that mattress that I'm going to shove across from side to side, and that'll hold up the foam board and stop it from sagging. I'll just cut away a little bit up the top here and down here somewhere in the wall to fit that stick in pretty much exactly. Alright, that's the plan, folks. Bloody hell. Of course, the minute I started wanting to do this, the rain's continued. God bless it. So these sheets are 2.1, which is longer. So you can see I am over that lip that was causing me the water problem last time, which is great. And I'm going to continue to angle this down so that the whole thing is on one continuous slope. That cupboard can lose a bit of height. It's not going to matter. All right, well, I think we're on a plan, folks. That blue board there, that's also another foam, an XPS foam, but they were only selling it in a much smaller sheets, and I wanted to try and avoid as many joins as I can this time, so I've gone with this white one. Horses for courses, I think. The blue one's probably a smidgen thicker. Feels pretty much the same, so I don't think there's much in it. I bought 2 of the blue ones. I'm going to cut them up and make the rest of the cupboard roof with them, I think. Alright, that's the plan. A bit anxious about the weather, but what I've done is I've started marking that board where those vertical struts are, so I can cut around them and bring it out to the same width as the other one. And I think that's probably going to work best. Okay. On the roof. That water's just, it's not going anywhere. So even the dodgy old one was a pretty bloody good seal. You've got to give it. Obviously it's getting in somewhere enough to get between the layers. When I cut it open on the other side there was literally a bloody reservoir of water came bucketing out. So I think this approach is going to be a lot better. The big long sheets. And we should be right. I'm going to have to stop because I can feel it spitting already. So we might weigh that down, probably with this handy dandy rock over here. I'll just check that it's covering where that bloody hatch was, and we'll stop for a little while till I know the rain's gone past. So that looks like it's going to work pretty well. And the beauty is I don't have to cut anything. So it's not quite as wide, you can see, as the old roof was. But I really don't think it's going to matter that much. It's certainly out past the walls, so you know it'll still give protection to the top of those walls, which is what I wanted. I think that's pretty damn good. Wider than the cupboard, for example. Okay, well that's telling me we're in with a win here, Andy. It'll never be strong, this foam stuff, they all said. Pig's bottom. Wow. So I'm using all my strength, both arms, the whole works, trying to get this bloody thing off. Having a devil of a job. But anyway, it's slowly but surely getting cut away and coming off. Whew. Holy guacamole. Oh, I'm too old for this. There was a few layers. Yeah, there's a few layers. Oh, geez. All right, here we go, folks. Just dripping through that roof there. That's what quite a bit of the roof's doing, so really does need to come off. And I'm in for a penny, in for a pound here, folks. If you can see or not, but that's the reservoir I was talking about. I can actually hear water running back down into the trailer as I open this all up now. Bloody hell, eh? Well, you can see it's still bloody dripping in there. And you can really see how that water's been sitting, can't you? Bloody hell. There it is, folks. That's the roof. What's really interesting about it, if we come around this side, you get a pretty good idea of what that fiberglass was like. And yeah, it really was remarkably tough. Which I suppose is exactly what you want, so that's a good thing, but somehow the water was penetrating somewhere, or it had got so much in originally that when I got that fiberglass up there it was too late. All I did was trap it inside, was probably the case. The thing that's going to be a little bit of an issue, and you can't really tell how much at the moment because that's sitting up on a bit at the back there. But I've decided I'm going to set it up above that bar and glue it on from the top, where originally I had it there. You can see where the bottom was. Well, that was part of the problem, because that was always, the bar was always about 1/2 mil higher, which caused this lip, and of course the water just sat there, and that was the beginning of the end. So this is obviously still temporary, but you can see what I'm doing. I've shoved a bit of that blue foam up in there, glued it in place, and I'm weighing that down to glue it to the white foam, and that should provide me with a pretty good base to cut, to glue to, sorry, the roof panels. Now the other thing I'm going to do, and why I said the word cut, is that's where I'm going to cut down 15 mil, which is about half of it, and fit those boards in, those struts. So you can see there's 2 of them. So hopefully this will work. You can see I've got those boards in. This is pretty close to what the layout will be. This will probably come over a bit more to line up with the other roof at the back. My main issue today, obviously I'll line the front of that up and I'll cut all that excess off there. Give you a look up top, that's a lot better. And the overhang on that front will really solve that original problem that I've had. So hopefully, you know, this fall is only slight, but it should be enough, I'd reckon. It's a bit hard to tell from up here too. I did measure it, cut it down 30 mil at the front, so it's got to have fallen. So that should be a lot better. I might end up, I can't see why, it looks like there's a little bit of a sag in there to me, but we'll have a look. I'll show you the inside. No, there's not. It just plays tricks on your eyes when you're up looking down on it. Tell now that front definitely slopes down and it's not held on the front yet. It'll be held a little, well, obviously it'll be glued, so it's riding a bit high at the moment. Breeze out. I'll give it a blow with my blower to get rid of the last little bits. But you can see what I mean by those boards. That's really giving it good access up there. You know, it'll hold it right in place. And I can see looking underneath, those boards are perfectly lined up. Alright, well, I'll have to clean up that front metal strip, won't I? Jeez, this got ugly. That's nothing, that's just hit it with a sander. Very happy now. This should be 1,000 times better. I think that's where we'll stop the video now, folks, because all I'm going to do is trim up that front a bit, glue it all down, and then start PMFing the top again. And I'll run some silicone around the edges and seal everything up. Bob's your uncle. So the next time you see her should, in fact, now be the final reveal, unless that roof leaks. In which case you'll never hear another word of a bloody Foamie trailer ever again. All right, you have a good one, eh? See ya.